Absolutely everyone is talking around this upcoming Venus retrograde, and I've done a few videos about it in general, but I don't think I've done one going into detail for each sign about what it means for you. So in this video, we're gonna go through what to expect for this Venus retrograde in Leo coming up in under a month now. Let me adjust my ring light here so I can sit down and do this, and also get into what it means for your sign, because I did a little bit of like a brief overview. I did a TikTok version, but I have some time to kill before my friends come over and we go out. So we're gonna get into what Venus retrograde means for your rising sign. Why this is based on your rising sign is because horoscopes need to always be read for rising sign. I have full videos explaining that, which you can look up. Just look up like Maren rising sign horoscopes. I'm sure the videos will come up if you do that. And with Venus retrograde, this will be July 22nd until September 4th. So that will be the most intense period, even though basically right now as we lead into July and throughout the second half of September, there will be a shadow period of the lead up and then the cool down. So it's the exact time, but then the shadow has some themes that are important regarding what Venus retrograde will entail. So Venus retrograde overall is a reanalysis or a reconsideration of values. You're going to be rethinking the values in this area of your life, and this is what it means for your sign. So if you are a Leo rising yourself, Venus is going to be retrograde in your first house of self and appearance. So what is valuable around the self and our appearance is generally hair, makeup, clothing, aesthetic, or our personality. So when Venus is retrograde in our first house, it's a lot around rethinking our presentation, whether that is how we dress, our hair, our makeup. It could also be a little bit more character-based. It could be like, do I want to be as nice? Do I want to be as generous? Do I want to be as mean? Rethinking those things. With Venus retrograde, it's often around going back to something. So this may be a way that you dressed or looked like or behaved in the past that you want to return to because you do not want to be the way that you look right now. I would say it's not generally the best time to start any new appearances or try something really new with your personality or what you look like, but it is a perfect time to revise or rethink a trend or an aesthetic that you already have. If you are let's go Virgo rising, this will be in your 12th house of mental health or spirituality. So with Venus being kind of like aphrodisiacs or things that we enjoy, for a lot of Virgo rising, this is going to be focused around what are your coping mechanisms or addictions that are not very good for you. Because if Venus is what we enjoy and the 12th house is our bad habits or things that are private, this is kind of like, what do you cling on to that maybe you need to rethink why it's valuable to you? This could be drugs, alcohol. It could also be any kind of escapist, spiritual bypassing work. Like if you're spending a lot on, I know there's been periods in my life where I'm like, oh, I need to do all this healing. I need to spend on all these healing things. Bitch, you can fucking heal alone right here. It's nice to go do the things and like whatever. But a little bit of that spiritual bypassing, you may be rethinking your spiritual practices around. If you are a Libra rising, this is in your 11th house of networking and friends. So a lot of you are going to be rethinking who you hang out with. Maybe not your best friends necessarily. This is not the house in the chart that's going to refer to relationships, but it could be the part of the chart that is talking around what is your social network? Who do you follow? What are the kinds of groups that you're a part of? This could also be a little more corporate in regards to businesses or large organizations that you're a part of. So it's not necessarily all around friends or like low-key social groups, but you're rethinking the social gatherings that you're a part of. It could also be you returning to a group of people or a group of friends that you have not seen in a while and are very meaningful to you. We have Iris making an appearance here. Hello, baby girl. You're the sweetest. I'm sorry, I'll put you back down. Okay, she's jumping off now. If you are a Scorpio rising, this will be in your 10th house of career. This one is pretty simple. You're rethinking the values of what you care about in the workplace, in your career. So you may be like, oh, I got to this place. I've had such growth and progress. Let me rethink why it's actually valuable to me. This could also be you having second thoughts around a career choice and being like, do I want to go and do this instead? Do I want to do this? Do I want to do that? It is a rethinking. Shit. It is a rethinking your career-based choices, where you may be returning to something that you previously had you put it off and you were like, no, I'm not going to do that. Now you're like, wait, do I really care about that? Do I want to do that? That's the kind of mood here. If you are a Sagittarius rising, this will be in your 9th house of foreign travel or higher education. So a lot of you are going to be rethinking your travel plans or rethinking what you care about in terms of seeing the world. If you don't have any travel planned, then it could be you rethinking, do I want to go out on a limb and do all this? Do I want to see all these places? The 9th house can also be education or school, so you may be rethinking what you're studying. Or the 9th house in its most abstract form is our belief systems and our religions. So I think for a lot of you, actually, maybe the most of you, because few of you are going to be internationally traveling or in college or anything, or maybe some of you, but it's going to be around your religion and your beliefs and what you really care about and align with. You're going to be rethinking and maybe like, do I ascribe to that? If you are a Capricorn rising, this will be in our 8th house of finance and investing. So you may be rethinking where you want to put your money and the way that you want to invest. You could also be returning to an investment or an asset that you have not worked with or thought of and how you want to sell or deal with it for a while. The 8th house can also be the occult. I often don't bring that up as often as I should, because for most people it won't. But I know for a lot of my audience it will, because most of you probably are not investing heavily, but you're probably heavily involved in like the occult. So with the 8th house being the occult, you may be rethinking your magical practice or going back to return to a way of interacting with magic or witchcraft or the occult that you've dealt with previously. If you were an Aquarius rising, this will be in your 7th house of committed relationships or partnerships, which is your kind of the prototypical Venus retrograde example, because this will be around rethinking serious relationships in your life. If you are married or you're in a relationship, it could mean that you become more distant or you rethink what the values are in the partnership. This does not usually show an ending, but it will show going back. So if you are single, it may be that you return to an ex or an ex reaches back out. In fact, an ex could, I guess, reach back out even if you're in a relationship. But Venus retrogrades are not usually as often around breaking up unless you are going back to like an on and off kind of dynamic where breaking up has been something you've done in the past. But it's more often rethinking the values of your existing bond. There could be some distance and some communication issues. And for a lot of you who are single, thinking back about or recontacting literally an ex. If you are a Pisces rising, this will be in your 6th house of coworkers and physical health. So some of you may be rethinking who you work with and your employees and the way that that's set up. You may be having to do a little bit of revision or some busy work that is around how people are organized with where you work. You could also be rethinking your physical health plan, and this could be as kind of surface as diet and lifestyle and your supplements. This could be as serious as rethinking medication or surgeries or really intense things. It's going to depend on your chart. I'm not a doctor. I'm not saying to rethink anything. I'm just saying that it's likely that you're going to be reconsidering physical health in ways that you've been having to chronically deal with things. If you are an Aries rising, this will be in your 5th house of dating and creativity. So this is the other rising sign where it very well may be that your love is something that you're rethinking. Now with the 5th house, it's more around dating and rethinking what your values are with the person or the people you're casually dating. This could mean that you hear back from exes. I'd say both Aquarius and Aries rising pretty equally could hear back from exes, but with Aries rising, you're more likely to hear back from flings or in a more just purely physical intention with who you're talking to. For those of you who do not have your love life activated, you could be rethinking creativity and having to go back and revise or work on some creativity that you have been really focused on. You're having to do some kind of going back energy with that. If you're a Taurus rising, this will be in your 4th house of home or family. You're probably renovating or rethinking where you want to live. You could also be rethinking something around your family setup and maybe your structure of family if you want to have kids or not. So with that, you're probably, going, whoa, I don't know if we want to do this. You could also be literally renovating your house, and that's the going back around home. If you are a Gemini rising, it's in your 3rd house of communication and content and routine. So a lot of you will be having to go back and edit and revise anything written. You could also be rethinking your content strategy, anything like a book or a podcast that you have out. You could be redoing it and revamping it. You could just be rethinking about the values of your routine and being like, I really need to get on top of my sleep schedule. I really need to drive or commute differently in order to maximize productivity. And then if you are a Cancer rising, this will be in your second house of income or finances. So you guys are rethinking income streams, you're rethinking budgeting, you're rethinking money. You might find that income is slower, but not without reason. There's probably a reason that things are slowing down or you're rethinking. So it's about reevaluating how you're making money. Now, this is not bad per se, but it's not the best time for starting new things in that area of your life. In fact, it is very well suited towards revisions, towards rethinking. And I know that for me, with, for example, it's in my 8th house of finance and investing, I might be rethinking, where am I putting my money? I'm not really like investing right now. Like I'm just like, it's not really a thing, but in general in my life, like where am I seeing myself set up long-term? Like how am I allocating things? With people who have Venus in Leo, like me as well, it's gonna really activate care and values and relationships in general, even if it's not romantic. So I have Venus in Leo, this is gonna cross my Venus in Leo. It will probably activate rethinking why I care about the people I do, or asking me to reconsider Venusian values of like love and things in my life. So if you have Venus in Leo, it's going to definitely activate that for you, but don't be scared if you're in a relationship. Don't be scared if you are like thinking about entering one. What happens is going to happen. This is nothing to stress about, but rather to be prepared for, so that maybe you can revise and rethink your values in that area of your life in a way that's really constructive. I am heading out. This is my little fit check. I really don't want to flash anyone, so we're going to do this very intentionally. I have not worn this dress in a long ass time. We're just gonna do mirror. This should work. So I have not, maybe not. I have not worn this dress in a really long time. This dress, I literally think the last time I wore it was like October 2022, because I remember the specific photo shoot that I wore this in. So this dress is like the most low effort, really. You have one of those dresses that's super low effort and you're just like, it looks good on. Everyone like gives you compliments, but it's actually the comfiest thing ever. Doll shoes. I bought these on Depop when I was 17, so I've had these for 7 years. But yeah, I'm in this, and I guess I should bring a jacket because these places are always fucking cold in LA. But anyway, I really hope I didn't flash anyone, so I don't have to edit this. Have a good Venus retrograde, and I will see you in the next one.